Hello, everyone, and welcome to Inforunners episode 20. Wow, hard to believe we got all this way.
Yeah, big 2-0. It's a milestone.
It is a milestone. So today we're talking about something that is going to be fairly controversial here. 3 reasons on not to buy the Cyclone. Oh,
That's right. We're not like anyone else where we say why reasons you should buy the Cyclone or buyer's guide to buy the Cyclone, and then they recommend you buy the Cyclone. We're actually going to recommend maybe there's 3 reasons you shouldn't.
And these are fairly big reasons. I'm Dazine was here.
And this is Hayes.
And, well, let's talk about our 3 reasons. So the 3 reasons we're just going to go over, and we're going to be talking about the size of the vessel. You might say that's weird, but the size of the vessel is going to be important. Then we're going to talk about how this ship has missed its niche. And yes, you could argue that 2 of the variants have hit the niche rather well, but that doesn't excuse the fact that they miss the next point as well, besides the size issue, which is actually your price versus, well, pretty much everything else in that range. So, let's get started with size. We did not need a buggy. We did not need a buggy.
Okay, so for size here, they really missed an opportunity here. They've made the Tumbler Cyclone the same sort of footprint as an Ursa Rover. And you cannot help but then compare all the functionality that the Ursa Rover has against every single one of the variants of the Cyclone. And to make matters worse, you also then need to compare it to the Nox and the Dragonfly. And at the end of the day, the Cyclone just doesn't measure up when you're comparing any one of those sort of its functions, its core abilities against a mix of those 3 different ships.
It needed to be smaller. We needed something small to fit inside of your beginning multi-crew ships like your Freelancer and Cutlass.
And don't forget the Reliant. If you could have fit a Rover-esque sort of ship in either 3 of those ships, it would give its core niche. It would give you sort of the exploration ground transport vehicle that could be used in a ship before you go up to Constellation size, and that would sort of even the playing field and sort of extend the idea of what exploration and ground exploration is going to be. And by sort of missing that mark, now you have to compare it directly with the Ursa Rover, which does everything it does better, except in a few core areas. I mean, if you look at cargo and you're going from sort of one homestead to another, the Ursa Rover's got it beat several times over. I mean, it's well defended, it takes more cargo, it takes more people, it's a better option. And then you get into, well, what about the militia version? Ursa Rover's got better protection, better armor, it's got twice as much weaponry, it's got a remote turret as opposed to, someone getting shot up the top. At the end of the day, what were they thinking?
Well, the thing is, even when you look at this, it's a vessel that has potential if it was a little bit smaller or would be able to fit in these other vessels, because it gives options, and it gives also at that size you might be able to fit 2 in some of the other vessels that could fit in Ursa. And then you now have, well, I can have one that's for cargo and one for sensors, and you can start doing all sorts of really cool things with it, or maybe fit some your buggy in there, and then have a Nox or a Dragonfly. Then you now have a lot more options. So it goes from being something that is now being compared to everything else to something that has a bunch of different utilities and combinations. So now let's talk about missing its niche. And this is something that is big, being as, and I'm just to put disclaimer here, the racer model, absolutely amazing concept when you think about, well, I know Hayes loves Mass Effect 3's experience there.
Well, they've got a buggy, it's got this huge boost feature. It's actually a lot more fun boosting around in your land vehicle than it is walking around. anywhere else. And like that's a great part of the game where you have lots of fun boosting around in this crazy sort of vehicle. And if they bring any sort of element of a boost like this for like jumps or racing or just getting from A to B, this is going to be one hell of a fun ship just to drive.
Yes,
And I
but
think
it misses the core functions, though. It misses its utility, which is what this vessel is.
it's a racer. It doesn't have to have utility. Racers don't know anything about utility.
Fair enough, but really, when you look at it, though, it's now the racer does fit that, and also the recon one, because who doesn't want a recon to go with their terrapin, right?
Yeah, speaking of that, it's no way it's going to fit in the terrapin. I do not know why they mixed that up in a pack. Someone explain that to me. CAG, are you suddenly changed your mind and you can fit vehicles and cargo into the terrapin? If so, that's great. But otherwise, what were you thinking? It's like, ugh. But you're right. The recon model makes a bit of sense. It's nice to have a dedicated sort of platform for recon that could be useful, especially a fast type maneuverable as opposed to a rover, which is more of a tank. That sort of hits a niche in a way, but sort of falls on its ass when you realize that, you probably put the same sort of setup on an Ursa rover as well. But, as you said, racing, recon sort of makes sense. But then you get onto an AA on a small rover with 2 size 1 missiles, and you're just like, for $70, what the hell are they thinking here? That's not even going to dent the shields of any sort of aircraft that comes by. I mean, you might dent an Aora, but anything like an Avenger up, the shields are just going to eat that missile up. It's going to be like, ooh, something bit me, turn around and then blow you to smithereens. It's
if you notice, it doesn't even have a turret, so you have to face it. You have to face it. And now let's just take a look at this AA Hummer, which I pulled up when searching different AA vehicles on the web. And you're going, it has a turret. I can face things. I can target things. And to be fair, it's on a small enough vehicle that you could even argue that it's a comparison in size. So why isn't there a turret that can carry 4 missiles in each pod? So you have 8 size 1s. Maybe not very impressive, but at least it's something that you can go, well, that may be a threat. Or why don't you have it extended cab a little bit or something so you could actually fit a true AA system like a SAM or Patriot missile system, kind of like this big vehicle I'm showing here.
Well, they should have got, for a true AA-based platform, they should have got the Ursa. They took the back of the cab off and put like a quad rack, something like that actually extends out and actually has some decent range, some actual sort of force, so you can actually get sort of area control. So when a ship suddenly realizes it's been locked on, it goes, oh fuck, maybe I don't want to be here right now, as opposed to swatting off a small mosquito, which is what the Cyclone AA is basically nothing more than a pesky mosquito.
Well, let's just take this turret, for example. Let's say they had that turret, or even had like a single size 1 gun, and then have a small missile pod right next to it. They could use that then for anti-ground as well. Like if you had the AA version and I can use those missiles at air, then I could lower them and start pointing them at people on the ground and take out Ursa rovers, dragonflies, homesteads, start firing them at positions. Then that's useful, extremely useful.
Absolutely. The Tumbler AA as a ground-based platform would make a lot of sense. Mind you, you've only got 2 missiles, and after that, you're pretty much defenseless. They should have put some more base weapons. Like if they combined the militia version with the small turret along with the 2 missiles, it would make an excellent ground platform, because it could get in there quickly, deal some decent damage, and still have that small gun to sort of, take on and still have something to fight with. At that point, that ship would make a lot of sense as a quick get in there quickly and sort of take something out and try to get away again, whilst providing some small support, and that would make a lot of sense. But they've split this up into 2 things, and they're overly expensive for what they is, because at the end of the day, a Nox or a Dragonfly outguns the militia turret version. That's how undergunned that ship is.
And it's probably faster. The only thing that it has going is it might be able to get into rougher terrain, but just take a look at the Dragonfly. It could probably go into any terrain the other one can go into. The Dragonfly can probably go into. I know the Nox is going to be a little bit more limited there, but
They're not limited though. They can go into space. This is the thing.
Yes.
You've got a ship that costs similar or less, is better gunnery, is probably going to be faster, and it has more utility because they can go to both land and space. And this is where that Cyclone, it sort of hits a niche. If anything, this ship should be less than those two. It is less useful, it is less powerful, and it has absolutely less utility because suddenly those ships can be used anywhere. Tumblr is groundside missions only.
And that's our final thing, which is this vehicle is overpriced, and massively so. Not only is it limited niche vehicle that doesn't even fulfill its niche roles well, outside of racing and recon, you have the fact that why would I go with this when let's say I'm a farmer and I'm traveling from my homestead to this town to sell goods. Why wouldn't I have an Argo? Argo is 10 times better. Why wouldn't I fly an Aurora? Because I can take the Aurora there and I could also go into space and get places a lot faster or do a little bit of traveling. Why wouldn't I have maybe an Avenger Titan, which is better defense for around the same cost and has way more cargo?
Or just an Ursa Rover if you absolutely have to have that land-only vehicle. I mean, at the end of the day, this vehicle is insanely badly priced. It's not competitive on any sort of real point compared to everything you have to compare it to, whether it be from price to function. This is not a really good deal.
Well, and on top of that, you can't even use it as an LTI token. We say sell your fighters, sell your fighters. We've said that before, and this is the thing. But buying a ship like this, like the Nox, was a good idea because you could buy it, enjoy it for 3.0 and during the time, and then eventually go, great, I've enjoyed this ship. It's about time to lock things in. Let me quickly upgrade this thing to something that's actually a good value, and which isn't that hard to do, and call it a day. You can't do that.
And then we've got that pre-sale that they did. Then the first 24 hours, you can only get this special skin, the Dust Devil, if you buy in the first 24 hours. And so we had all these people buying a 5-pack. I think it was like the Nox 5-pack. They can use it as a CCU LTI token. And, because they were like, I don't know anything about this ship I'm buying, but if I don't get it in the first 24 hours, I'm going to miss out on the skin. And lo and behold, within 12 hours, they've announced that no, you can't CCU this to other ships. And I imagine they got a number of support calls with people saying, I want my money back because I intended to buy this 5-pack so I could CCU it to some other stuff along with, having that skin.
Yeah, I mean, that's seriously an issue, and this is actually possibly a future issue because pre-sales, it's just like the culture of pre-ordering nowadays with regular video games. You buy something and it can easily be a bait and switch. Like, why are we now seeing this in Star Citizen? We're already pre-ordering a pre-order.
It's pretty disingenuous. It's generally supposed to trap someone. Before it was okay with the Nox because it didn't you could still get everything with the Nox. You're just missing out on a forum title, which is like big whoop. But this time they included the limited skin as opposed to making everyone who did a war bond might be able to buy it. I mean, that would make more sense.
That'd make war bond very valuable because you get some cool swag, you get a small discount, and then you get that instead of I get a massively overpriced ship, in this case a buggy, that's very limited niche. Well,
and honestly, this ship is the worst bang for buck CIG has ever put out. This represents the least amount of hardware for the most amount of money, especially with some of the variants like the AA than CIG has ever done.
Add Warbond into it, $10 discount, 25% up.
Well, this is it. If you're not doing a Warbond and you're doing credits, it's actually an extra $10. The Nox was only $5 difference between the Warbond and the credits. This is a $10 jump. So anyone who's not doing Warbond is actually getting. This is an insanely badly priced deal. This is not a good direction.
Well, the thing is, it wouldn't be bad if it was a good deal for the ship and you're getting still a good discount. You're saying, oh, it's encouraging you to spend more. But now it's saying you're getting a bad deal, plus you're getting this other massive discount. That's just a spit in the face.
Yeah, I hope they I think the ships over the next 12 months, we're going to see a lot more of this sort of thing there. A larger disparity with regards to war bond prices compared to store credit, and probably ships that would normally have been a lot cheaper for the same sort of size and performance bracket being hundreds of dollars more than what we have come to expect in the past. And I suppose, as closer they come to release, we were supposed to be expecting this, but at the same time, for new and old people alike, reinvesting in the Star Citizen, you have to ask, is this worth it? Because up to a point, it's going to be, that's a big sting. It's the sort of like, maybe I'd just be better off earning this stuff in game now.
To be fair, anything really small you should be doing that with, unless it's something you're using as an LTI token to enjoy now and then upgrade later. And again, that's a whole nother issue. And really, before we leave the section of overpricing and pricing everything, I want to say that they need to have some of these ground vehicles set to the point where you could actually CCU them. Yes, I know you can't CCU it to space vehicles, but it would be nice if you could at least do it from starter ships, because it'd be nice and reasonable to say, with my game package, oh, I have an Aurora or a Mustang. Well, I'm just going to throw a little bit at it because I'm not using that because everything else is LTI or everything else is larger, just to have a ground vehicle on my game package just because.
I don't understand what their obsession is with this whole ground vehicles not being able to use the CCU to ships. I mean, like, they just had one of the cheapest LTI tokens, like the Nox, less than 3 weeks ago. And suddenly they want to try and dissuade people from doing that sort of behavior. I just don't understand their reasoning. It seems, along with the sort of pre-sale, along with this, and the huge increase in price and how you're not getting much bang for your buck, I wouldn't be surprised if the Cyclone doesn't sell anywhere near close to what the Nox did.
Well, guys, what do you think? Are we completely off? Are we right? Guys, just don't buy the Cyclone. Save your money and earn it in game.
I bought one. I want the racing one.
Well, that's actually one of the two that are at least slightly decent, but even then it doesn't excuse the price point.
No, it doesn't excuse me, but I can still see a good reason for people to buy them, but it is not the best value, I will admit.
Well, we love to read your comments, so please leave them. We try to comment on every one of them.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, we'll see you around.